Hi, my name is Vanessa Roman, and one of the few things that I love to do is going on vacation. I love vacationing, whether it's enjoying a cold beer on the warm beaches of Cartagena, Colombia, or enjoying a warm cup of cocoa on the snowy mountain of Mount Hood in Oregon. I love vacationing for many reasons. I love to immerse myself in the culture, get to know the people, really get myself into the environment of the destination I'm at. It's all so great once I'm there and enjoying myself, but one of the most tedious tasks of vacationing is planning the trip. Thankfully, my classmates Jeremy, Kyle, Kylie, and Nelson have prepared a step by step guide on the best way to plan a trip. Whether you're going to one of the places like Thailand or any other place far or closer to you, we've got you covered. Planning a trip can be really overwhelming between picking a destination out of all the possibilities here on Earth, booking a flight, booking a hotel, and planning for transportation in the place that you're visiting. It can be really overwhelming, especially with all the information available to us on the internet. Thankfully, they've got you covered, and they want to make this process a bit less stressful and seamless for you. So, Jeremy's going to take over and explain to you the first step of planning a trip, picking your destination.
Thank you, Vanessa. My name is Jeremy Stoof. When we're looking to go on a trip, one of the first things that we need to do is we need to pick our destination. I have traveled to 9 different countries, and these are the things that I have learned when picking a destination. First, we need to decide what is our ultimate goal. Do we want to do something relaxing, like laying on the beach with our toes in the sand next to the water, or do we want to go on an adventure where we're climbing mountains and exploring unique, unusual places? Or do we want to do something educational where we're teaching English to young kids and doing service projects in the community? When we decide we want to go on, let's say, an adventure, one of the next steps we need to do is we need to figure out our timeline. We need to know when we're available. Do we have paid time off from work? Or is there a certain season that we prefer? So, what time of year can we go? We have to remember that narrow windows can limit our choices. If we only have 3 days, going overseas somewhere like Thailand probably isn't going to work. We also need to decide on what type of weather do we want to enjoy. Do we want somewhere that's not warm and sunny, or do we want somewhere that we're going to be able to see the northern lights, such as on Iceland during the winter? Also, different times of the year can change the affordability of our trip. When I went to Thailand, one of the things I noticed is that if I was to go in the winter, it would be significantly more expensive than if I went in the summer when the heat was high, up to 6 to 8 times as much. And how much time do we have to do our trip? Different destinations are going to require more time. Like I said, if we go to Thailand, we're probably going to want a week or two at least in order to have the best experience. But with more time, obviously costs more money, so that's something we may need to budget in as well. Nice thing with more time though is it's going to expand our travel area. One of the main costs with traveling is usually your flights, especially if it's overseas. And so if we're traveling there and we have a longer time to travel, then we may be able to explore different countries for cheaper than to do them at different times. When planning a trip, we also need to decide if we are going on a solo adventure or are we planning to explore with others. Also, are we going to experience a new culture or experience hidden gems within our own country? So how many people do we want to take? There's pros and cons to both of this. More people can decrease costs. We can save money by sharing a hotel and cabs. But with more people, it's also going to decrease our freedom potentially. We all have different ways of traveling, what we want to experience. And when you're traveling in a group, you have to take everybody's opinions and decide what is best for the group. Not one of the nice things with traveling with people though as well is that it may bring an extra experience. So we may be able to travel with someone who knows the local language or has family there or friends that you can stay with. We also need to decide, do we want to travel overseas or within the States? When we're traveling overseas, one of the first things that we're going to need is a passport, and those can take months to get if we don't already have one. So be aware of that. One of the best things about overseas, though, that I enjoy is experiencing culture shock, and it's one of the things I look forward to most during a vacation. We also have to keep in mind that solo travel, especially overseas, can be risky. So if you are traveling alone, you may want to think of where you are traveling. When deciding on a vacation, we have many things to consider. For some of us, like myself, we prefer overseas vacations where we're experiencing that culture shock. But for others, you may want to travel within the states where you can anticipate and know exactly what you are getting into. Now, I hope you're excited to hear from my friend Kyle discuss how to pick the perfect flight for your vacation. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy, for that amazing information on destinations and how to properly pick the best one for your refreshing getaway. Hello, my name's Kyle Matson. When people think about going on vacation, the first thing they think about is the price of flights. There are so many ways to purchase a flight in today's age. So many amazing and affordable ways to find flights through apps, websites, and travel agents. There's so many things to consider as well when looking for a flight. Today we're going to go over those options. Finding an affordable flight is what everybody's looking for. There are apps like Hopper which generate the best times, rates, and days for you to travel on based on the expensiveness of a ticket. This app will help you find and tell you when to buy and when it reminds you and recommends the best flight. I love this app personally when I fly, and it finds the cheapest flights usually for me. Timing is key when you find flights. And when you're looking for a flight, usually you would like to book between a year or half a year in advance. A year is 12 months, 6 months is a half a year. The earlier the trip is planned, the less the trip will cost. Last minute plane tickets tend to be the most expensive ones because they're so last minute and they're looking to book flights quick. I know, it seems a little odd that the last minute ones are the most expensive, knowing that planes usually book out instantly. But that's just how it goes. Airlines, on the other hand, the major airlines, there are a variety of price points with tickets. The more you pay, the more comfort you will get out of your experience on the airline. Airlines like Spirit, on this hand, are the most affordable ones for you to get from. They usually come with the least amount of comfort and the least amount of capabilities, like food and refreshers on the flight. Spirit doesn't provide that. They just provide you a destination point A to B. Airlines like Delta and America, on the other hand, offer accommodations, snacks, drinks to all the passengers. Wi-Fi you can get on this airline as well, but usually you have to pay for it per hour or per flight, depending on the airline. Movies and TV shows are available on your tablet and laptop through the Wi-Fi. This accommodation is free as well, and it helps the time go past when you're in the airline. I definitely recommend going for this medium price point when you're looking to buy your flight. First class is the highest and most expensive way to fly. It has the most accommodations like a meal, blankets, eye covers for sleeping, and you have a personal attendant that will help you in the first class cabin. Now that we have talked a little bit about the options that comes with your flight, here's Kelly to talk about the second most important thing when planning your next vacation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle, for informing us on our different flight options while traveling. Hi, everyone. My name is Kylie Keeter, and I will be informing you on how to book a hotel while traveling, getting the best price, and alternative methods to housing. There are many different websites to book hotels, but they are not all created equal and all have different tax rates and prices can vary. While booking a hotel for your trip, make sure to do the research and compare all sites to ensure the best price. When booking a hotel, depending on where you book and which website, it can dramatically change the price of the hotel for the same stay. Booking far out in advance is usually the best availability for desired hotels, and it normally results in decreasing prices. At times, last-minute booking can also result in cheaper prices because hotels are trying to fill rooms. Here is a list of potential websites that are reliable and make it easily accessible to compare the many different prices. Expedia, which is good for members and has last-minute deals. Hotels Combined, which combines multiple hotels and hostel search engines including Hostel Bookers. Booking.com, this can offer special rates when signing up for a free membership. Hotels.com, this website often has many coupons. Besides booking the traditional hotel, there's also a lot of alternative housing options. There are options like shared housing, booking whole houses, as well as hostels. These options are oftentimes cheaper and when traveling can create an immersive experience into the local culture and provide privacy. Airbnb, very common around the world and has many options. Homestay, staying in people's homes for exchange of help or hosting your home. Hospitality Club, a community of people that arrange homestays, hospitalities, events, and meetings or other members. Now that I have talked to you about the different options for booking hotels while traveling, here is Nelson to inform you on your different transportation options while traveling on vacation.
Good afternoon. My name is Nelson Horton, and I will be informing you on how to get transportation when you're planning a trip. Have you guys ever tried to rent a vehicle before? Well, I know many of you have, so if you have, this is going to be a pretty dull moment for you guys on this part. But if you haven't, I'm going to give you a little guide on how to rent a vehicle, or how to get transportation even if you don't want to rent a vehicle. The first site I'd like to talk to you about would be Expedia, as you can see on the web browser here. Now, I know there's a bunch of vehicles here and everything like that, but I just want to take a time to show you and tell you that you can literally pick any vehicle size you would like with the price range that you have and the location of where you want to pick up. Right now, our trip is in Thailand. So I'm using Expedia on Thailand because they will go through other companies and agencies to get you a vehicle in that area on that specific date and the time you want to pick it up. The other website I'd like to show you would be would be Enterprise. And the slogan is we'll pick you up. The reason I like Enterprise is because, well, they'll pick you up. They will travel that car to you and give you your car. It's just a really good site, and it's my favorite to use out of all of the sites to use. Also, there are going to be complications though. Sometimes when you try to use that website, they're not going to have a vehicle for you. So you have to keep shopping around and shopping around. That's why I'm trying to give you other means and other access to other websites when trying to get a vehicle. The last thing I'd like to share with you would be public transportation. For us, we are going to Thailand. As you can see on the website here, you can see that we have buses in Thailand. You have tuk-tuks, which are the three-wheeled vehicles pulled by people, which is something I've always wanted to do. If I ever go to Thailand, this is one main thing I would want to do is take a tuk-tuk ride. They also have trains. When I was in Germany, trains were the best form of transportation to me because they were cheap, reliable, and they got you where you need to go pretty quickly. You could literally travel all around Europe on a train, and it is the best transportation in my opinion when you are traveling. They also have air travel for local places like that. I wanted to give you guys this information to show you how it's not overcomplicated to get transportation when you're trying to plan a trip. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you, Jeremy, Kyle, Kylie, and Nelson for informing us on the best way to plan a trip. We all want to reap the benefits of going to a wonderful place like Thailand. I can just imagine myself sitting on the beach in that tropical environment on a beach chair, just looking out at the beautiful scenic view of blue while sipping on some Thai tea. Not a care in the world, no stress, no school, no work, and then probably afterwards hitting up a cool spot to have some yummy pad thai. How wonderful does that sound? But we got a plan for it. So hopefully you were able to learn the steps to be able to successfully plan your next trip. Between picking a destination, what time of year do you want to go? Are you going to go with a group of friends or by yourself? Booking your flight. Are we going to do American Airlines, Delta, or Spirit? We've got options. Booking your hotel. Are we going to stay at a hotel or are we going to stay over at someone's place and then maybe host them when they come over to our place? And picking your transportation. Are you renting a car or are you going to take advantage of public transportation, which can be much more affordable? Following these steps can help make your next trip a little bit less overwhelming and just much more fun. Thank you.